Hi, everybody, and welcome to The Horror Within Me. My name is Eric, but I go by Foxy Batman. I grew up in a very chaotic household, and as a means of escape, I immersed myself into the world of horror. Recently, I decided to pursue my passion and start my own horror podcast to talk about all things in the horror universe. So, with that being said, let's go get spooky. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Horror Within Me. I am your host, Eric, aka Foxy Batman, and this is a very particularly exciting episode for two very big reasons. First reason, this is my first ever episode where I'm doing a movie review and recap on a brand new movie that has just come into theaters this past weekend. Second, this is episode 10. We've hit 10 episodes, so that's a big milestone. I'm very, very excited. I didn't know what this journey was going to be coming into it, but it has been so rewarding in many different ways personally, and I'm hoping to learn from it and continue growing and moving. So for those of you who have, listened from the beginning in January, thank you. I appreciate you, and I look forward to eventually connecting other ways, maybe social media, and finding new content to talk and review about, because that's what we're all here for. We're all horror fanatics, and we love the horror genre, and we love talking about it. There's many different opinions that we have come to learn that other horror people have, which is fine. So, this is my opinion. You don't have to like it, but if you do, or if you have a different point of view, I would love to hear it. So, anyway, this week we're talking about the brand new film, The Black Phone, starring Ethan Hawke. Okay. I was so excited when I've been seeing this trailer for the past few months that it was coming out. Couldn't wait. It's been months that I've been waiting. I've been doing little checkups. It's from Blumhouse. I love it. Love Blumhouse. You guys know that if you follow again. We watched their movies of Halloween, Paranormal Activity, The Purge, things like that. So very excited that any movie that I see is going to be produced by Blumhouse or Jason Blum. I'm all about checking out. That's just me personally. So let's go on to the IMDb. I messed up last time. IMDb. And see the let's see what it says here. Under that, it's got a short little synopsis. All right, I'm not being able to talk today. Hopefully, let's get through this together. I'm too excited because it's our 10th episode. I don't know how to speak. I've lost the gift of gab, I guess. But no, okay. So it says, after being abducted by a child killer and locked in a soundproof basement, a 13-year-old boy starts receiving calls on a disconnected phone from the killer's previous victims. It's got a 7.4 out of 10 stars out of over 9,000 reviewers, which is a lot for, this just coming out 2 days ago. It's got 208 user reviews, 131 critic reviews, and a 65 Metascore. Now let's click on these user reviews and see. And we're just going to go through and read a few of them before I get into my own kind of, my own opinion first. It says, the Hawke and Derrickson duo take the horror genre back once again with a grimly entertaining film. That was highlighted. 8 out of 10 stars, one reviewer wrote. Ethan excels in terrifying mask. Yeah, Ethan Hawke at it again. 10 out of 10 stars. A scary Ethan Hawke and terrific young stars make this thriller a Blumhouse best. Superb casting. Absolutely terrifying. One of the best. Thriller with an emotional backbone. I like that one. And if you are If you've seen the movie, you get why I like that one. If you haven't seen the movie, just for those of you who listen to my podcast, I usually review whatever I feel like. Honestly, not really much newer movies, so I do usually contain spoilers in my podcast, but I feel that I personally don't like a spoiler. I don't like new things. I'm always terrified if I miss something right away that I'm going to see it on social media and be ruined for me. So I don't want to be that person or be a hypocrite. So this is not going to contain spoilers regarding the movie. I think it's best if everyone goes in and witnesses and experiences the movie for themselves. Obviously, other movies that are older that have been out for a few years or longer, I will contain spoilers because if most of my listeners are also horror fans, chances are you've probably seen it already. So that's why there's usually spoilers in the older ones. But for the newer movies that I'll be reviewing and recapping and talking about, I will do my best to not do any spoilers. So back to the IMDb. Let's see what else we got on here. So we've got some good reviews from the people that reviewed on here. We've got a few photos. Now, it is worth noting, Mason, I'm going to say Thames is the lead role of Finney. His sister, Madeline McGraw's Gwen. And obviously, we have Ethan Hawke as our villain, we should say. What I loved, and I didn't pay attention to, I don't know how I missed this as a horror person, but it was based on the short story by Joe Hill, who, if anyone out there doesn't know who Joe Hill is as an author, he is the son of my favorite horror writer, most of America's favorite horror writer, Stephen King. And so I read a lot of King's work. I go back and I'm trying to collect more of his books and read them. But, I've mentioned that before, so very interesting. And it makes me want to go and start picking up Hill's books as well. Just because he also wrote the graphic novel with someone else for Lock and Key, which is a show on Netflix, and the final seasons of that's going to be coming out soon. So that's, he's got some credible good work, in my opinion, that I'm interested in. So if that's just a little tidbit that I didn't know, that it was written off of based off a short story of his anyway. The storyline on IMDb goes as this. Finney Shaw is a shy but clever 13-year-old boy who is abducted by a sadistic killer trapped in a soundproof basement where screaming is of no use. When a disconnected phone on the wall begins to ring, Finney discovers that he can hear the voices of the killer's previous victims, and they are dead set on making sure that what happened to them doesn't happen to Finney. Now, there's no spoilers here, but let's jump into this. So I just got back from the movies. I did an early showing of it, and early matinee showing, and now I've had a few hours to sit, digest kind of what I've watched. I'll just jump right into it. So one thing I do want to start off and talk about, it's always kind of fun, is just going to the movies in general. So I went to go see this with my husband, obviously, and two of our friends, who are like our movie people we do movies with, or we watch horror movies at home or in the movie theater with them, and they're kind of like, they're into it too. So it's always fun to go to the movies with them. So thanks guys for coming. We all really enjoyed the movie. So that's the only spoiler of this podcast, is that 9 minutes in, you already know that I liked it. And so did my friends. But so the movie, what I love about going to the movies, I always tease my husband, is that I don't know if anyone goes to AMC theaters, but there's this thing after, before the movie is getting ready to start, where there's like a thing of Nicole Kidman, and it's the most ridiculous thing in the world, but it's just my favorite thing. It's like Nicole Kidman walking through a puddle, and like she's got like a purple sparkly pantsuit on and like stiletto heels and a trench, walking into the AMC theaters and doing like a monologue of like why do we go to the movies? We go to the movies. Like, she has a line where it says, heartbreak, somehow heartbreak feels good in a place like this. Like, that's, so I say that to my husband all the time. Heartbreak feels good in a place like this, or I'll change it up and we'll just be sitting on the couch and it'll be something stupid where, I don't know, let's just say it's like, I don't know, cold inside the house, and I'll look at him and I'll say, for some reason, being cold feels different in a place like this. And I'll just say random things, and he just rolls his eyes and he hates it. But honestly, it's my favorite thing to fuck with him about, because it's just random. I don't even plan it. I randomly will just pop my head and be like, now's the time. Now's the time. Pull out Nicole Kidman, hit him with a Nicole Kidman line. And then I do, and it's just so random and unexpected, and he looks so annoyed, and I'm so sorry, babe, but I love you, but I can't and probably won't ever stop as long as it remains relevant in the movie theaters and I can remember. I'm even thinking about being her for Halloween. I think it'll be fucking hilarious if I'm walking around in a purple pantsuit with a blonde wig and a bowl of popcorn, walking around to people at parties saying, for some reason Halloween feels different in a costume like this. Like that's gonna be my line of the night or something. Maybe my husband can be an AMC logo. That'd be kind of funny. Walking with him, me as Nicole and him as the AMC theater. But I digress, and we're gonna go back into the movie. So one of the things that they were teasing me about, we go through the whole movie, and it's about, I think it's an hour and 48-minute movie. Let me double check that. I don't want to give false information. It's not my style. It's an hour and 43 minutes. So yes, after all of that, one of the things that I pointed out very early on is that Blumhouse has their iconic like opening little whatever to let you know that it's like a Blumhouse production. They changed it, and it was like different than the normal where it's like the room with the spinning chair and everything. It was completely different, and it starts off and you can see like Michael, kind of like a Michael Myers figure behind a tree, and then it's coming through like moving forward, and then you're in another room and it's like people in purge masks, and then you're in that room with the chair and everything. I fucking thought that was so I was geeked out. And being like with other people that are also, like I said, they watch movies with me and stuff, but they're not as well. The one girl is our friend Jenny, who was on one of our podcasts. She was with us. She likes horror movies, but I'm like invested, I think. I thought that was the coolest thing. They made fun of me because I made a comment about it, and they said, you watched the whole movie, and the one thing that stuck out to you is Blumhouse, and you're going to talk about it on your podcast about Blumhouse. So if you guys listening, yes, I'm going to review the new Blumhouse Productions opening, not the Black Phone, guys. I'm just kidding. But I do want to point out that I did bring it up, and we'll review that really quickly. Awesome. Loved it. Love the change. Keep it going. It's so exciting. Anything with Michael is super exciting. But yes, so the movie, it hit me in a way that I didn't expect. So I will point out there is a element of an unhappy home with Finney and his sister that I was not prepared to watch. Now, I didn't know that the movie is not in current times. It's actually set in 1978, which I like when they go back and they start setting movies again in like the 70s, 80s, even 90s when technology wasn't as advanced, because it makes it like it brings light to how things were, and investigations or anything where we aren't so quick to have everything at our fingertips, and we have to be different on how we investigate or research these types of things. So I really like that aspect. But for those of you who have listened to my podcast, we know that I had a chaotic upbringing between my parents with the violence and domestic violence, and I did get a lot of uncomfortable feelings in the beginning and parts of the movie with that. But nothing to put too much out there of the movie, as I keep saying. It's like beating a dead horse, but their father is an alcoholic, and there's a scene that I'm not going to get into, but there is a scene that really just took me back to a place that I wasn't thinking. I didn't expect to be mentally prepared for that. I went in there ready for like the thrills, the horror part of it, but I didn't expect that. So I did get uncomfortable, and I did, it was difficult for me to watch. which is very interesting for me, being in, you know, into all of that. But I don't know about you guys, but for me, I have to be ready. I research everything. I try to understand stuff before I get in so I know what I'm getting into. If I'm going to be safe or whatever the word is, I just like some type of control. And that's also a flaw. But so anyone out there who hasn't seen the movie who wants to go see it, if you have issues with like violence or domestic, well, not violence obviously if you're a horror, but just in the family dynamics of things like that, there is a little trigger warning there, just to mentally prepare yourself for that. More of it too that I found interesting as I sat on it. The book for the short story is only like 30 pages, so there's parts that they put in I thought was great, and it was just very true. I've read some of the short story, and reading it was very true to the movie. The movie was very true to the story, even down to certain lines that were said in the movie. So I thought that was awesome that they follow through with that, because I think it's important, especially as fans of work of people's writings. It can be like, think about even Stephen King, like hated The Shining in the movie, that the first original movie, hated it, didn't follow the book at all. And I loved the movie until I actually saw the book, read the book a few years ago, and I realized just how different it was. And I was thinking, I'm not really sure why they didn't follow the book. The book was terrifying in its own, and it wasn't anything that they couldn't have done in the movie, so I wasn't sure about that. But no, with this, they seem to have followed very nicely along from what I had read of it already. So that was good. And so, yeah, there's some violence, especially kid-on-kid violence, too, in the 70s. There's bullies in school. He's no secret, it's no spoiler, Finney's a little bit bullied. And it's no secret that he's kidnapped and held prisoner. We've read it in the synopsis storyline. What's interesting, and we know that I love. I'm gonna overstate it. Love the paranormal aspects. I love when they take a concept like, a real life horror that happens and has happened. This is not new. There are many people that have kidnapped children and murdered them, and it's still happening. It'll probably always happen. But they take a story like that and they put a paranormal twist where the sister has these dreams of what's going on. And also, the whole premise of the movie is the black phone that's in this cell with him. And the victims of the past are calling him on it and giving him tips. And I thought, oh, okay. It's a little different. You think it's going to be just, real horror. And it is. Because, you take that, but then you mesh in the aspect of the other elements, and then you have this great masterpiece where you have this boy who's otherwise helpless in a situation with, Ethan Hawke, hands down, I have to give him props. It was very creepy, pulled it off, made me uncomfortable. The acting in all of the acting was very well done. The movie really brought me into 1978 in, I think it was Colorado, and really made me feel like involved in the story from the get-go. Very well done. But the paranormal aspect with the kids, I liked that they were involved, the victims, and they were calling on this phone, giving him all the tips, and like the police were, I like that they, somewhere in the movie, they sit down and they talk to the sister. And this is a small spoiler. They talk to the sister because she made a comment to a victim's sibling about a dream that she had. So I like that they also did like one of those things where, how sometimes psychics will assist in an investigation and say they know where the murder victims are. And so that was kind of cool how they downplayed that in there, but you could, like, the police started to believe something, like they had no lead, so they were desperate that they're going to listen to this young girl, because these are children. Like, I think Finney's like 13. I'm not sure how old who the sister was, but yeah, so they were so desperate that they actually started to listen to the girl, whose dreams were very interesting. And I like how she she would pray to God, and it gave me very big tarot card feelings. But she had like a Bible and rosaries and things like that she would keep in a dollhouse to try to, she had no control. She has no control over these premonitions or these dreams of what's going on. So that was interesting. Hands down, highly recommend you go see it. It's a really great summer start to the summer horror movies. It's hands down, it's just great. So definitely go see it. Speaking of summer horror movies, there are a few movies coming out soon that I've seen the trailer for today. Don't quote me, I don't remember all of their names. But it's going to be an exciting summer leading into September and then eventually October, which we already know. October, I believe 15th, Halloween ends. Can't wait. I was very, very much hoping to have gotten a trailer to that for, attached to this movie, because the previous two Halloween movies, we did get a trailer in June, but unfortunately, Blumhouse did not give it to us, and the rumor is that it's going to be attached to the Jordan Peele's Nope premiere, which is the end of July. That movie comes out, so apparently we're going to get a trailer to Halloween Ends, the first trailer and sneak peek to Halloween Ends with that movie. There's a movie, give me another one, it's called The Invitation, or You're Invited, or something like that. It's very much Ready or Not vibes, and I don't remember the actress's name, but she played Missandre on Game of Thrones. She stars in it. It looks really well done. A couple other ones. So yeah, getting into this, I think, is going to set us up for a really exciting summer of content to discuss. I would love, 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 love to hear of any movies that I haven't brought up, any old movies. I like watching older 70s, 80s, even, 60s. I don't care, 50s. I remember as a kid, I watched The Birds. I watched Psycho. I watched, House on Haunted Hill, the original. I like the remake. We can talk about anything. Really just encourage and would love for you guys to reach out and follow me on Facebook at The Horror Within Me. Follow me on TikTok at The Horror Within Me. There you will see, different posts or ideas that are outside of the podcast where we can discuss further different things in the horror community. My TikTok is kind of fun, and we're building up on that. So I encourage you to like and follow, and leave feedback, because, without you guys, feedback, it's kind of, a shot in the dark. I love horror, but I would love to connect more with the community of people. So that would be super cool if you reach out and give some ideas on what your favorite movies are. But definitely for this episode 10, wow, take a moment to just reflect that it's been 10 episodes and everyone's just been awesome. It feels so long, because you think 10 episodes won't go as fast as they do, or it should have been faster, or it should have been further along. But it just looking back on it, starting in January and where we are, and still understanding what it is that I'm gaining from it, I'm just having a blast. And I'm so happy that we've got 10 episodes. I can't wait for the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, episode 100. What will we be doing? How will it be then? We're going to be adding, it's probably going to be exciting to add some merchandise, maybe some hats and shirts, maybe some stickers. I love that idea so much. So if you're interested in that, again, drop a comment on the Facebook page. There's also our website at thehorrorwithinme.com. So from there, you can find all the social links that you need to about us. But definitely go see The Black Phone. It is in theaters now. And if you are a movie theater person, or if you like to stream from home, I'm sure it won't be too long before it's available on one of the many, 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 many streaming platforms that are out there. But I highly think that when it comes to certain movies, you can only experience it the way it's supposed to be experienced in a movie theater. Unless you own a home theater, kudos to you. I do not. I aspire to one day have a home theater, but as of now, I do not. So I still love the experience of going into a movie theater. with my tickets and getting in line and getting my favorite, which is a large popcorn and pretzel bites with cheese, and then we get a large Dr. Pepper, and then that's every without fail. Pretzel bites with cheese is unacceptable to not have, and it's happened to me a few times at these theaters, and I think, what in the hell are you doing? One time they told me that they couldn't give me pretzel bites with cheese because their person that handled hot food wasn't there today. And I'm thinking, they're not making the fucking dinners. You're keeping pretzels in a warmer with it. Anyway, we're not gonna get into that. That's for another. We'll do a TikTok rant on that one. But definitely, yes, The Black Phone is worth seeing in movie theaters. Go to an AMC. Watch our Nicole Kidman stomp in a puddle. Keep an eye out for me as her, possibly for Halloween, and give me your honest opinions. Get yourself some snacks. I want to know what your favorite movie theater snacks are, though. Yeah, I just told you mine. Is it candy? Is it popcorn? Is it the nachos or something all together? Do you even sneak your own in? I'm curious. I don't like to sneak my own in. First of all, I'm just a coward, and I would never sneak in food or movie hop. I don't know. I've never been that person. But yeah, I want to know all this stuff and look forward to next week's episode. But until then, again, I'm going to stress, please go and like and follow me on Facebook and TikTok, and like and follow my videos. And please rate the episodes when you listen to them, because rating the episode is helpful for me so that I can move up and see what's working and what's not working. Your feedback is invaluable and will only help me make better content for all of you. So I really encourage all of that. This has been another fun movie review on The Horror Within Me, episode 10. And until next time, everybody, as always, stay spooky.